Alright, get your Pope's Peak gear on with your Junko Enoshima tie because we have a new Danganronpa game. Kind of. So at E3 there was a very large Danganronpa announcement. Personally I thought that we were going to get Monokuma for Smash. I do think legitimately that was something very likely, and it's still technically very likely, but for the last fighter, probably not going to happen. But instead of that we got something else that I predicted, which is ports of Danganronpa 1, 2, and V3 to the Switch. But we got something more than what I thought, and that is Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp. This is essentially Danganronpa V3.5 in a way. To explain everything that was announced, Danganronpa 1, 2, and V3, Danganronpa 1 to 3 I'll just say, got their anniversary editions ported to the Switch, or they will soon. There's not an official release date, but it's coming out sometime this year. And what it means for the anniversary edition is the same version that's being released on the phone. Danganronpa 1 and 2 have been released on iOS and Android. I think iOS. I know at the very least Android. And they're the anniversary editions, which just comes with the HD sprites and just extra content like behind the scenes stuff, more artwork. I believe you can listen to the soundtrack at full, and it's really cool. Danganronpa V3 mobile anniversary port is coming sometime this year. I don't think that we have a date for that. Yeah, originally it was announced that the game would be released on May 26th, but it got delayed sometime recently. So probably the chances are the mobile V3 will be coming out at the same time as the Switch port of all the games. I can only imagine, which means that there could be something special hidden within V3's anniversary edition, maybe, but we'll have to wait and find out, I guess. But let's get to the reason why everybody clicked on this video, and that is because of Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp, which I assume the S means Switch, Danganronpa Switch Edition, because this is a Switch exclusive. And it almost seems like that it's going to be a limited release. Nothing has said that, but it feels like it might not be on the, you might not be able to buy it forever. Because there are two ways to buy these games. One, you can download each game individually, Danganronpa 1, 2, V3, and S, individually on the eStore, on the Switch eShop, or you can buy the entire 4-game bundle physical copy. And I don't know, it just feels like with it being released like that, I think the physical copy may be a limited release, but nothing's been confirmed about that. So first I'm going to just talk about what the Standard Edition and Collector's Edition comes with, because there is a Collector's Edition, which is super cool. Then I'm going to go through the trailer that we got of the game. Then there's a bunch of screenshots that weren't really shown within the game, and I'll go over that afterwards. So let's talk about the Collector's Edition. Well, first we have the image of Danganronpa Decadence, which I should say that's what the collection is called. Danganronpa Decadence is the game that you're buying. You're not buying Danganronpa S. That is one of the games within Decadence, which Decadence, right? Because 10-year anniversary. This is a part of the 10-year anniversary special for Danganronpa. So we have Danganronpa Decadence, which is a Switch exclusive, which that's what makes me feel like this is a limited release of the physical copy anyway. But again, nothing's confirmed. So we have the Danganronpa Decadence Standard Edition. Indulge in a decade of despair with 4 games in one. Danganronpa 1, 2, V3, and a brand new title, Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp on one game card, coming 2021. And now we have the Danganronpa Decadence Collector's Edition, which in comparison to the V3 Collector Edition, this is okay. But of course, this isn't a new Danganronpa game. It is, but it isn't, right? So it's not going to have as insane of a collector's edition than a full-on true, canon sequel title. First of all, we have the Collector's Outer Box, which is a sleek 9x7 by 1.38 inches premium pop lid metal box for perfect display for any Danganronpa fan, which we can't really see the actual metal tin part. We can see the cover of it, but we can see on the far left of the screen here of the image, that's what it looks like. I believe that's the image of the metal box which contains the game. So that's some pretty cool artwork. It's pretty bland, the background. It's just a gray background. It's a little uninspiring. And you can even see just the game itself, right? The Switch case, it just looks kind of bland. The image, the artwork itself is cool. I really enjoy the artwork very much. It's weird how Hifumi gets a little bit of the spotlight in this, while Nagi is just shoved all the way in the back. Kind of funny. But then we have, Komaru, is that her name? Nagi's sister in there as well, which is odd because she's not included. Her game, Ultra Despair Girls, isn't included in this bundle, but she will be in Danganronpa S. so I guess it makes sense. But it's very funny how Nagi's just shoved all the way in the back, and then Hifumi gets this cool-ass, like, image there. A little funny, a little weird, but I'm down with it. It's just, the background is very uninspiring, just a flat gray. Obviously, this collector's edition will come with the game itself, obviously, but it'll also come with a remix OST. Special edition, Danganronpa composer Masafumi Takada pours his heart and soul into this 10-track remixed soundtrack. So there's no new songs, but they are remixes of all the original songs. And one thing that I'm crossing my fingers for is that we get a remix of all 3 Danganronpa intros, 1, 2, and V3, all of those intros mashed up into one song. Because we can find that on YouTube, and it's kind of like, you know, it's okay. But when it comes from Takada, he has all the sound levels all separated and everything, and he can merge them all together perfectly well. And I would love to see all 3 intros mashed up into one. Because the Danganronpa 1 and 2 intros are very similar, but the V3's intro is very, very different. So I'm excited to hear that mashup, because that has to be one of them, right? Having the intros all mashed up together, that would sound so cool. But it's only 10 tracks, but I bet all of those 10 tracks are going to be amazing. So next up we have the Danganronpa lenticular print set. So at first, without reading it, just looking at the images here, I thought that they would be kind of like these, where they're, I don't know if you can see it well, but you can kind of see the crosshairs. There's also this, High School DxD, all of this is from Loot Crate, not sponsored, but I like their service. But it's kind of like cardboard, right? I thought that it was going to be like that, where they were just high quality images of the Danganronpa posters and covers, but it turns out it's not that. It's kind of like the plastic image that you can like scrape your fingernails off of and like go kind of, and it'll, depending on how you look at the image, it'll change the image. So we have one for each Danganronpa game. We have the cast, and then if you look at it a different way, then we have the cover of each game. So that's pretty cool. I'm not personally a huge fan of images like that, just because it's hard to see, because you have to have it at an angle. You can't just look at it straight up. So it's kind of weird that they're choosing that as one of their collector's edition items, but you know, that's fine. I would have preferred something like this, but oh well. So for the final item in this collector's edition, we kind of have a wall scroll seeming item. It is a 18 by 24 inch cloth poster featuring the brand new art of Shuichi, Nagito, and Kyoko, drawn by Danganronpa character designer Rui Komatsuzaki. It looks pretty cool. Again, I've already talked about it, and it just looks a little uninspiring, the background. The character art itself is super cool. I'm a big fan of the artwork itself. It's really cool, and spoilers for Danganronpa V3, I don't know if I even need to say that at this point, because it's like a 4-year-old game, but skip to a part of the video where I'm done talking about this, because it's kind of major spoilers for V3. But now that you're gone, it's kind of funny how they're still portraying Shuichi as the side character, even though in this image itself, we see him without the hat. So it's already spoilers anyway, but it's just funny how they're still trying to say, oh no, Kaedi's the main character. She's also on the cover of the game, right? She's the main focal cover, and I just find that a little amusing. It's still super, super cool art. I really enjoy it, and it looks pretty cool. So that's all that you'll be getting in the Danganronpa Collector's Edition for Decadence. So at E3 we got a trailer for both the Danganronpa Switch ports of the Anniversary Editions and S. I'm gonna skip the ports just because they're ports and they don't really add anything to the game. Nothing for me to cover anyway. And after the Danganronpa trailer of the ports, we get cut to Hajime waking up on the beach, just like at the beginning of Danganronpa 2, but you can see there's something off. Nagito isn't wearing his regular green brownish jacket with the red dots, squares on the side. Now it's white with blue, and he's wearing swim trunks. And that immediately was like, what's going on? I had no idea what was happening. And what's interesting here is that it's regular text, right? It's not the weird bubbly text that you get normally for the minigame section of Danganronpa, right? The post-game minigame stuff. It's actual legitimate text. So this is what has me excited about this game. And this is why I say that it is a new game, because it kind of is, or that's what it seems like it is. Because what this game is, I don't know if I've even mentioned it before in this video, but it's Danganronpa V3's post-game as a full-fledged, fleshed-out game. However, it seems like that it's going to be more than that based on this text here and just the way that it's presented. It seems like it's an actual full-on game, kind of like Danganronpa 2's post-game. I feel like that was a bit more of a game than Danganronpa V3's post-game. It has a bit more of a visual novel element to it anyway. And this seems like it has some kind of like story going on, where all the characters are kind of just chilling and relaxing together at a resort. And I really like that. I've always loved the idea of Danganronpa, but not murder. And Danganronpa 2 kind of plays with that idea a lot, actually. And V3 kind of does a little bit, mainly just the post-game. And so I think the idea of that being a full-on game would be the coolest thing ever. And I am excited just as much as if an actual Danganronpa sequel came out. That's how excited I am for this, but I hope that I'm not disappointed and I just hope that it is what I'm thinking it is, right? But what's interesting is there's a little bit of glitch marks looking at Nagito there. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be like that or if that's just an error in the uploading, but if there is actual glitch marks there, then there could be some deep hidden lore in this game. And that's something also that I wanted to bring up. What if Danganronpa S is actually the sequel to Danganronpa? Like, it would be Danganronpa 4 or V2 or V4, whatever you want to call it. What if this is it? What if this is the actual sequel? I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but let's look at the history of Danganronpa. Again, Danganronpa 2. We open up with Danganronpa 2. That's the first thing being shown with Danganronpa S. And with Danganronpa 2, it gave you a surprise at the beginning of the game. It all seemed happy-go-lucky until suddenly, bam, it wasn't. And even the logos to the, like, fun Danganronpa 2 is very similar to the logo of Danganronpa S. So either this could just be the legitimate, this is the fun version of Danganronpa and that's all there is to it, that's why the logo is similar, or maybe they're doing the same trick, because it just feels off. Doing something like this isn't something new for Danganronpa. Like I said, they've done it for Danganronpa 2. In a way, I mean, you went into Danganronpa 2 expecting that it's a murder mystery game, and then it presents itself as something different, and then it goes into the actual game, and you're like, oh, okay, that was a weird, fun twist, cool. V3 did it in a way that I'm not going to say because it's still spoilers, but there was a huge twist with that game that changed it to its core after Chapter 1. It's the Chapter 1 and prologue to Danganronpa 2 and 3, V3, that changes the game fundamentally. And what if it's the same exact thing here, but instead on an even bigger scale? Instead of just Chapter 1 being all shown to be something new, or, well, think about it, okay? It was really just the prologue of Danganronpa 2 that was all weird and twisted, and then we get the big twist to have the true game. Same thing with Danganronpa V3, but instead it was extended to be the entire prologue and Chapter 1, then the big twist happened. So wouldn't it be even bigger to step up the scale even more to show, hey, we have this new fun game that's coming out. But it's all happy-go-lucky and fun and games, nothing happening, and then when you buy the game, it's nothing like advertised. In a way, that could be illegal. So I'm thinking later on, if that's actually a thing, if my big brain idea is true, we might just get a trailer for it at some point showing the true game. I do think that we'll get like an extended version of V3's post-game, but at the same time, we very easily could be getting some kind of twisted, dark version of this game. Because what's with the glitch marks, right? I don't know if that's supposed to be the way that it is or if it's a glitch by Nintendo, but there's some weird glitches going on. Yeah, no, looking at this frame by frame, the text box doesn't glitch out or anything, it's just Nagito, so this is not a glitch. This is something completely intentional. Yeah, you can even see he rotates a bit. This is 100% intentional. So the question is, why, right? Yes, it could be the character Hajime being thrown into an alternate reality and that's why it's glitching out. It could very easily be that, and if it is, it's a little saddening because I'm building this up to be something bigger in my head, but that's just my fault, I guess. All I'm saying is that there could be more to this game than meets the eye. Look at FNAF, right? Every single release, we get some kind of fun, like, game that pokes fun at the fans, and it's actually all cutesy and whatever. Literally, FNAF Pizzeria Simulator is the definition of that, right? At first, Scott just said, oh, here's the release of the game, and then he releases a fun, stupid game. But then he literally does that with Pizzeria Simulator. He full-on advertises it as just some kind of fun little game, and then it turns out it's the real thing. Danganronpa could do that as well. I think Danganronpa is one of those franchises that could pull it off. Kodaka is that he's that kind of guy that would do something like that. And we do know that Danganronpa is getting a new game. Whether or not this is it, we don't know. Because character designer and artists and stuff were being hiring a few years back, and nothing has really come up of it. It could be this, but at the same time, there's no need for character designers in this if you're just altering the artwork, right? So I still think that we can expect a full-on Danganronpa game out of this 10-year anniversary, because we're still in the 10-year anniversary, technically. And so this could be like a cover-up game to show us the real thing later on. Which would be super cool. Is it realistic? In a way, kind of, but is it likely? Not overly realistic, so don't get your hopes up. Anyway, that's one frame of the trailer. Let's go on to the second shot. We instantly get thrown into a 3D world, which, if I remember correctly, the V3 post game was 2D. It was a top-down 2D kind of game. It looked pretty good, you know, nothing too insane. But we can see here, I believe there's a few more characters. That's the Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, one of the children, the Lil Ultimates, which I don't really know her name because I never really played the game. I just watched a video online about it because I tried to play the game and it was absolutely terrible. Maybe I'll do a Let's Play of it someday. But we can see here, there's her next to a cow, which is cool, and it's just a oddly realistic cow compared to everything else in the world. But it's really cool. We seem to be in Danganronpa 2 right now. This seems to be the Danganronpa 2 location, so it seems like there may be different maps that you can choose from. Or this is just the entire map and it's a very, very large map. And you go to certain sections of the map depending on which game you load into, right? A lot of this game seems to be Danganronpa 2 inspired, because you can even see the Danganronpa Sun logo on the windmill, like it's the logo. And in the whole resort thing, you see in the top left, there's the shop, which seems to be the same shop from Danganronpa 2. There's the houses, however, that's not the same location that they were in the game. So this definitely seems like it's some kind of simulation like Danganronpa 2 or V3, depending on how you want to look at that game. But it just seems to be a bit different. We can see what that's Danganronpa 3 Naegi as you're playing as. As he moves, there's nothing really to show, but now we get thrown into battle, and these are completely new enemies. From what I remember, these types of Monokumas were not in the game, so we're getting completely new enemies in this game, which is super cool. And it seems like there's an auto mode to the battle system, which is pretty nice. I don't think that was in the original, but we have this Monokuma on some kind of highway area. He looks like a Grim Reaper. Half of him is a skull. You can see his hand sticking out from behind. It's a skeleton, and then we have like it almost reminds me of a Grim from Ruby, right? Seems like some kind of bony Kuma. Yeah. Then we get Komaru talking to Nagi, and she's like, oh, pff, it's just you, Makoto. Don't scare me like that. You naughty boy. And we have Celestia talking to Miu. Miu is all mad. And that looks like a floating limb, but I think that may just be a seagull of some kind. I hope that is. That looks weird. But Celeste is like, oh, can we perhaps continue this discussion elsewhere? The sunlight is doing terrible things to my skin. I don't know what accent she has, so I'm going with whatever. Then we get Hiroko Hagakure, which this is a new sprite. This was not a sprite shown in Ultra Despair Girls, which means that we are getting new drawn even sprites for these characters, which is super cool. Even though I don't care for this game, it's really cool that we're getting new artwork for them. Wait, why risk everything here? We should run. And then she gets interrupted by something, who knows what. We can see here there is the character selection screen for Danganronpa 1, 2, Ultra Despair Girls, and Danganronpa V3. This is a very similar title. This is a similar screen compared to the original, but we can see for the S tier, it's all of their swim gear, which I don't think was a thing. S tier was not swim version, like swimsuit version of the characters. So that's a notable change for this screen here, and of course the Ultra Despair Girls edition. But in the next shot we get just seeing Sakura, Nekomaru, Akane, and Gonta fighting all together, all the big strong characters of Danganronpa, which is cool, fighting a cute little bunny and a cute little cat. Monokuma Tala and Mono Bunny. I like Mono Bunny. Now we have Hotel Mirai, which means Hotel Future, which is this. We know that the Danganronpa 2 simulation, spoilers, is made by the Future Foundation. So Hotel Future, Hotel Mirai makes a lot of sense, just lore-wise and stuff. So this is a system made by the Future Foundation. I guess if there's lore to this game, we know that it's made by the Future Foundation, and they've thrown all these characters together in with each other for some reason. But we have Monokuma, Oma, and Chiaki talking, and it seems like things are getting pretty heated. But Chiaki's just coming walking out like, what are you guys shouting about this hour? Come on, just shut up, please. And then we get swim gear version of Leon and Rantaro at a sauna, or an onsen. And Leon's like, that's it. Maybe we should form a duo. But now we have another cool shot, completely original artwork as well. Monokuma looks pretty weird, but we have them fighting some like tribal men with the mono bunnies or mono cats or whatever they're called. We have Akane, Sakura. It's hard remembering all these characters' names. Oma, Kibo, and Tenko. All ready to face off with Kibo trying to run away, but Oma's like, oh my god, look at that, it's so cool looking. Look at all of them. Sakura's like, I shall face them. And now we have something really cool. We have a festival going on with a lot of different characters. We have Gonta, Gundam, Little Ultimate Girl from Despair Girls, Rantaro, Sayaka, Mikan, Ryota, I think. Ryota? Prison guy. It starts with an R. Ryoma. It is Ryoma. Is there two Ryomas in Danganronpa? Ryota. There's the difference. And so we have Ryoma selling like balloon animals, Gonta showing Gundam his like bug collection and books all about bugs, and then we have the little mono cubs up at the top overwatching everything, and kind of I hope there's no evil intentions there, but that whatever this is looks really cool. And again, it's not the bubbly text like in the minigames. This is an actual thing. This is actual regular text from a regular like main series game. So what this part of the game is, and with Nagito waking you up, seems to be a different part of the game. It seems like that they're trying to cover it up a little bit, that this seems like an actual game, which is why I'm hyped about it. But that is the last that they show of Danganronpa Decadence. However, that's not the last that we could talk about it, because there's a lot more screenshots to go over. So we have a screenshot of Sonia and Celeste at a beach in their beach uniforms, and Sonia's like, oh, you'd love the beach at my homeland. The climate is more mild, the wind is more refreshing. So that's really cool to see them interact. Again, it's with the bubbly like text box, so this isn't anything serious. And so we have Himiko, Hyoko, and Mahiru all at the beach house Kumaya, which let me search up what that means. So according to Google, Kumaya is some sort of name, and that's it. I don't really know anything else about what Kumaya means, unless I am stupid. Maybe Monokuma, Kumaya, it could be a play on words. But we have those three just talking about. Hyoko says, if big sister Mahiru says so. And it seems like Himiko is getting a little angry over there. We have the full-on logo of Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp. Like I said, it's very Danganronpa 2-esque, and it seems a little suspicious in my opinion. But of course, don't get your hopes up. We have a really cool shot, a very, very, very good shot, good angle of all the females and a couple guys. We have Soda and I'm your bro, Kaito. So we have Soda and Kaito in there as well, with Toko. We have Junko / Mukuro, technically it's Mukuro, and then Kyoko. We have Ibuki splashing in the water, playing with Soda and Kaito. Then Maki's just going like, oh my god, stop, you're gonna get water on me, Jesus. And then we have Asahina looking damn good. That's all I can say about that. We have a cool like Danganronpa 3 anime looking design shot of Kirigiri and Naigi, which is really cool. And there's another shot as well, I believe. Yeah, with Kirigiri and Asahina, again, in the anime Danganronpa 3 art style, which is very interesting. Maybe there will be some kind of animation to this shown, just as a little special, who knows. Funny enough, in the Japanese trailer, a bit more stuff was shown, and some certain things were changed. So I can't really translate this. I can read some of it. Garondashi. I can read a little bit. Can't understand any of it, so shit. So we're gonna throw this into a translator, and it threw it out in Russian. That's not what I want. So Kairi, I believe, is saying, "It's not like that. There's a beautiful sea and I want to swim." Next up, oddly enough, we have a different image of the original, like the dice throwing at the beginning of the trailer, but it has Oma in there instead of the girl. The girl's gone, and Hiro is gone as well. He was in the background there, but he's gone for some reason, but now we have Oma instead, right in front of Nagi. And now we have a new shot. And it says, "The light scene where the cake sits on the sand beach. It was a big event to call the topic." Man, I love translators. But we have Mahiru, Kaito, Shuichi, Kurokuma, and Nagi all checking out a cake. It seems like they're having a fun time. And now we have another shot of like the three most important characters in Danganronpa. We have Nagi, Hinata, and Nagito. And Hajime is saying, oh, this is... And I don't really know. But we can see here, okay, this is important. We can see here Nagito is in his regular greenish-brownish jacket with the red squares on the beach. At first I was thinking, okay, this is the opening shot to this. But again, we have the bubble text, and he's wearing his regular clothing. So whatever that is something different, right? It just has to be. We can see that weird floating limb again, which I think is a bird, but it just doesn't look like a bird. It looks like a hand dangling from the sky. Maybe I'm just going insane. I think I am. Danganronpa does that to people. Okay, so now we have a couple images left. Thankfully, no more translating having to do, but we get a shot of another part of the board. It's a little bit lower from where it was before, and we see Mukuro, Junko, whatever, and Maki behind, and then we have Nagi as well, just as the main character, near the beach area, which seems to be where he, Nagito, and Hajime were talking earlier in that other image. I wonder if they've added, thinking about it, I wonder if they've added any new like dice cards or anything like that. Not new dice, but new cards and just new events happening. Obviously there's new events, but clearly, as we've literally just seen, new map equals new events, but I wonder if there's new cards and stuff, new ways to travel and stuff. That would be really cool. And I wonder what's going on with the RPG elements of this, because there was a full-on like dungeon crawler kind of thing in the original V3 post-game. So I wonder if that's a part of this, because that was kind of a part of the original Dice for Despair, Graduating from Despair, whatever this game mode is called. That was a part of it as well. So I wonder if they're going to add that into this as well. But now, finally, we have the event gallery of all of these games, and we have Makoto Nagi's event gallery, which Makoto and Chiaki, Junko Makoto, Shuichi and Kyoko and Makoto, Kokichi, Makoto, Hiroko, Tenko and Makoto and Byakuya? So probably the imposter. Kairi, Makoto and Masaru, Makoto, Sayaka, and Komaru, which is what we're at right here. That's what it's hovering over. Then we have Potential of Talent, Summer Festival, Campfire, and With the Swimsuits. Ooh, that's from Danganronpa 2, straight up. The image above, the Kairi, Makoto, and Masaru is 100% from Danganronpa 2, right? That is, yeah, no, that's Titty Typhoon. I know that from anywhere. That's Titty Typhoon, but it's at night this time. And it has the same Danganronpa 2 monitors there as well. That's very interesting. So yeah, it seems like that we are at Danganronpa 2's location, but it's just, there's something different going on. For some reason, like, if we're saying, let's try and piece lore together here, all right? We're going to try and talk about the lore. For some reason, the Future Foundation, again, in the Makoto, Sayaka, and Komaru, the one that we're hovering over, we can see the Mirai Hotel, which, again, this has to be something Future Foundation related. And we can even see a statue with Nagi in front of it as well. Is that from Danganronpa 2 as well? Yeah, so in the location below, you can see where Nagi is. That is Jabberwock Park, with the statue of all the creatures, which would be didn't they turn into the cyborgs or whatever? But that's what they were based off of, I believe, which limit you from going from island to island. I think that's what it's related to. But for some reason, we have Jabberwock Park. So we are at a modified version, a non-Monokuma version of Danganronpa 2's Jabberwock Island. So that's very interesting. Because in the original V3 like post-credit game, or post-game, that was just an original location, was it not? It was a complete original one, throwing you around time and like you're being shown back to the characters like high schools and this and that. You're going everywhere, but this seems to be an actual static location. A modified, an unmonokuma'd version of Jabberwock Island. So we finally get to see the full island, because I don't think that we got to see the entirety of the island technically when playing Danganronpa 2. So that's exciting. But for the final image that I have for you all, we have 2 mono cats with a mono cat other version with Makoto, Hajime, Komaru, and Kairi, all of the main characters of Danganronpa, all together fighting absolute fodder. And there's even a give up button now, which is amazing. I'm absolutely going to give up. We have a speed as well, so I assume that's for auto/manual maybe? I wonder what the speed's for, maybe just speeding up the animation, most likely. Unless, is that the speed type? Is Makoto a speed type? Is that a thing? I don't know. But we have 1, 2, 3, which might be selecting who you attack. I don't know, I don't care. I'm talking about whatever. So anyway, that is, I believe, everything that we have so far about Danganronpa S. I can give more updates as time goes on. So I did one last search for trying to find any new images, and I didn't find anything cool and newsworthy, but I wanted to go through a couple memes that I found. We have this one where there's Ibuki just splashing in the water, and then Soda and Kaito are people begging for Danganronpa 4, people who want the trilogy to end, and Beach Party board game spin-off. I don't want the trilogy to end. I want the series to go on forever and ever until it gets just crushed into the ground and absolutely destroyed. I want that. I don't think that Danganronpa could ever go wrong, right? Even if they do mindless, no-plot sequels, I would love that, because that's not the point of Danganronpa. It's just a cool-ass murder mystery game with cool, wacky characters. That's, at the end of the day, that's all I really need. Having the lore and plot there is cool too, but hey, I think everybody can agree. All we really need is just the cool characters. That's why Danganronpa 2 is my favorite of the trilogy, because of the characters. Danganronpa V3, absolutely amazing. So good. I love the characters in there too, but Danganronpa 2's characters are just amazing. So, anyway, funny meme. Next, we have, oh fuck, Nagito Komaeda is on the Nintendo Switch. I just love Nagito memes. They're just so good. And we have another one here. This game is called Komaeda. Honestly, this looks super cool for like some weird creepypasta game or a horror game. Just have the characters like first or last name, whatever it is. Just have the character's name with them being all pixelated and all that. Perfect horror game cover. Just white background. Oh, Nagito. And now a lot of people were complaining about Hifumi. I even mentioned it as well. I didn't know that other people had been complaining about it, but they don't like how Hifumi is so goddamn big in the cover art. And so this is a good fix with it, honestly. I think that it really does it justice. What they did with Hifumi really works amazingly well. And so yeah, that's all we have for Danganronpa S. And because of this, I think I'm going to replay through V3. Because for those of you who don't know, on a couple of my older videos, I had the comments similar to this. Me saying, hey, stay tuned, Danganronpa stuff is coming out. And then 9 months later, nothing happened, right? Which I can't believe it's been 9 months already. However, this has made me want to go back and actually get some stuff going with Danganronpa, because the only thing holding me back from posting a certain series is I have to replay V3. I have to replay V3, and that's a 60-hour game, and I just don't want to do that. But once I replay through V3, there will be about 12 videos all talking about the lore, and I have everything solved, I think. I think V3 is solved, and I think I did that. And it was only about half a year after the game came out. So this is like 3.5 years ago, but that was around the time where I quit YouTube for a while. So I just haven't uploaded it, and I haven't really developed the videos. So I'm gonna have to do that. But what's stopping me is I have to play through V3 again, and I just don't want to do it because I've already seen it like 4 times, and it's been years since I've seen it, and so I have to refresh my memory. But that's the only thing holding me back. But I think I'm actually going to now. If I can sit around for a week and play and read nothing but One Piece, I think I can spend 60 hours instead of 100 just playing through V3. That shouldn't be that difficult. So anyway, stay tuned for those videos. They'll be coming out relatively soon, within a month, hopefully within a month. If I do play through V3 soon, those videos will be coming out pretty shortly. So if you enjoyed this video and if you're interested in those, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be having more Danganronpa content hopefully in the near future to show all of you. Because I'm really confident in some of these theories. I have to rework a few of them, but for the most part, they're really solid actually. I think it's a good explanation of what happened in V3 because it's very confusing. So anyway, if you're interested in that, go check out those videos when they come out. And in order to find out when they come out, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.